What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And I'm watching Raising Kanan just like the rest of the world. And the brother Grantham Coleman is killing his role as Ronnie, right? He is killing his role as Ronnie, Unique's brother. And I promise y'all, I'm looking like I looked at his Instagram page. It's hard not to see Ronnie when I'm looking at him. That's how I know he's doing a great job. In his regular pictures, if he ain't smiling, I promise you it gives Ronnie. I'm looking like this is a crazy ass dude. He's unhinged. He's the black Michael Myers. He's the type of dude that you could be running away from him and he could be walking and somehow, some way he'll still catch up to your ass and choke the shit out you, right? He's depicting his role so well. That cold, dark stare that he gives. You don't know what's going on in his mind at any moment. I promise you, it seem like he'll just snap at the drop of a dime. At the drop of a dime, he could snap and break your neck. He could snap and kill somebody. He's playing it to a T, and his whole vibe is just crazy. Him eating the dang on Honey Nut Cheerios, walking straight. It look like his knees don't even bend when he walks. Walking straight, no emotion, blank stare, cold look in his eyes. He is the definition of a psychopath. But really, y'all, I really want to go deeper. Ronnie, to me, this character, the way that Raising Kanan is depicting the traumatized black man, right? And the arc that they're going through, from Uncle Lulu to Uncle Marvin to Unique to Ronnie. Ronnie represents the unassisted, traumatized black man, right? Ronnie is clearly institutionalized. Been in jail for a while. I'm sure he was in a hole with the temper that he has. And I've read up on what being in a hole, what being in solitary confinement does to an individual's mind. It drives them crazy. They go crazy after being separated from people. You've been in solitary confinement for a year. What that does to a person and their psyche. They start having hallucinations, start talking to themselves. They start to drive themselves over the edge. And I often think about Khalif Browder, who was wrongfully arrested. And he spent a lot of time in solitary confinement and he ended up killing himself due to the mental trauma that he was suffering from, the psychiatric trauma he was suffering from being in solitary confinement, from being wrongfully accused of a crime, and then being in jail amongst animals, and then having to resort to living like an animal or having to fight in order to protect yourself, because the guards ain't gonna protect you. The guards aren't gonna protect you, right? And so when I'm looking at Ronnie, I'm like, yo, this brother is clearly mentally ill. He's mentally ill and he needs psychiatric help immediately, for real. And instead of getting a psychiatric evaluation, instead of giving some type of counseling for the brother, some help, the jail releases him to the regular world. And he's living amongst well-regulated human beings. However, his mind is not well-regulated. So when you have a person like this living in the community, they'll cause harm to anybody they see fit, right? I think about people like downtown Chicago. We have a lot of homeless individuals, and a lot of them are homeless because a lot of them need psychiatric help. They've destroyed a lot of the home for mentally ill people, the homes. They've destroyed a lot of those homes, right? And so a lot of them are walking and roaming downtown. They riding the L. The L is the subway system in Chicago. We call it the L because the train tracks are elevated, They riding the L amongst regular, well-regulated human beings. And some of these people will attack you just for walking past them or looking at them in the wrong way. They cuss you out if you just glance in their direction. There's been incidents where mentally ill have harmed people. Seriously. One of my coworkers, I remember, she went to Starbucks. One of the mentally ill individuals, he got put out of Starbucks for harassing people in there, right? She comes out. He's mad he got put out of Starbucks. He's the first person she see. The guy is the first person, the woman I work with is the first person that the mentally ill guy sees when she comes out of Starbucks, and he spits on her, right? That's a recipe for chaos. And Ronnie represents a mentally ill person for sure. Now, he's not a bum on the street, largely in part to his brother Unique and due to him being a hustler. right? But look at him, the way he's moving, the way he's talking, look at the chaos he's created. Coming into his brother's home, trying to destroy his brother's home, don't give a fuck about. He's a psychopath, and also, what's the other word I'm looking for? Not a psychopath. It's another word for a person who has no empathy for anybody else. Not a psychopath. Sociopath. There it is. Sociopath. No empathy, no nothing for anybody. Doesn't think about how Unique's girl is gonna feel if she hears certain news. Didn't even know what was going on, that he was having not an affair. I don't think he married, but he was cheating with Rock at first. He still was insinuating that Unique was messing around, right? The brother, like the way he interacts with human beings on a regular basis, as if he's ready to cause them harm at the drop of a dime. Killed the brother because he ain't like the comments that the brother made at the door about how he dressed and all that type of stuff. Killed the brother, smashing his head in the dang on car. Then you got him in this episode killing his own brother. Killing his own brother, right? And some people don't think Unique is gone. I think Unique gone. Especially with how I'm hearing that Joey Badass was in a podcast talking about how he's been ready to get back to music, etc., etc. I think Unique is gone. Killing his own brother after trying to, for one point, he's telling, what's the young lady, the Hispanic woman's name in the show? He told her, Unique ain't going nowhere. He ain't dying. Ain't nothing happening to him. Then he goes and kills his brother after trying to cause destruction in his brother's life. You know what I mean? So one minute you protecting your brother, then y'all get into a fight. You don't like how y'all fought and how he beat you in a fight. And now you go and kill him and then dump his body out like he discards him like he's nothing. There are really mentally ill people like this in this world. And of course, Raising Kanan is drama to it because it's a show. But there are people who will really do things like that. Kills family members and then have them in a basement and all that. We've seen stories like this taking place in the hood. I promise you, a man, it was a man or a woman. I'm trying to figure who it was. I don't remember. A person in the building, 2 buildings down from my grandmother. My grandmother was on 78th and Walcott, right, in Chicago. A person killed their spouse and chopped the body up and had it in the basement. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not funny. It's not. But there are people who are out here like this. A person I remember in the suburbs, I don't know if it was Markham or what. It might have been Markham. A person had a dead body, traveled with a dead body in a suitcase, and had it in the dang on suitcase, traveled from somewhere down south, I believe, to the suburbs of Chicago. Right? And they found out about it eventually. He still had the body in the suitcase. So there are people who are living like this in our communities, walking around freely, and you just never know. These people are in the store with you. They driving in traffic with you. That's why you see people, somebody tap their car a little bit, they kill them, all that type of stuff. There are people who are traumatized, who probably been through a lot of horrors. I'm thinking about the dude Ronnie, probably didn't have no father around, no guidance, running around in the street, dealing with street dudes who are cold-hearted individuals. When you in the street, it's a cold-hearted game, so you got to be cold-hearted. These are people who will snake each other out at the drop of a dime. When I'm hearing these old war stories about Chicago and other cities, about how drug dealers turned on each other, killing each other, then getting with the other drug dealer's woman and his wife, and all type of crazy stuff. You hear stories about people kidnapping people. Then I think about what's the young man's name in Chicago that got killed? Young little boy, Tyshawn, was it Lee? Tyshawn Lee, 9 years old, got killed in an alley over a gang feud. Right? These are the type of people that I'm thinking about when I think about this character Ronnie and how they exist and how they are real life psychopaths, real life demon individuals who need mental evaluation. They need to be separated and they need to get help. Ronnie's a person who needs to be separated from well-regulated individuals, and he needs help immediately. But that's not how this works in the Raising Kanan world. He's roaming freely and he's going to cause chaos in the show continuously. And him and Kanan are going to have a collision course. But what I'm seeing is that Kanan, I don't know if he knows he know who Ronnie is, but I don't know if he knows the type of character he is. Kanan doesn't seem to be intimidated by him. And when a person is not intimidated by a mentally ill person, they want to make them intimidated and try to go to the lengths to try to make them intimidated even more. So Ronnie and Kanan are going to have a strong collision course. Head on. Peace.